Here we go. Here we go. I added a few more things of this puzzle cutout. I didn't want to add the second piece or the last piece. I was thinking about it, but I think we've all put a puzzle together in their life, and usually or sometimes there's always that one missing piece. That there's always that one missing puzzle, or that one missing bolt, or that one missing screw. In this case, it's a hand-drawn, airbrushed, missing puzzle piece that I didn't want to include. I was thinking about it having floating around, but we'll just have it there. We'll just have it there like that, and we'll let it be a mystery to where it is. So this artwork was an inspiration and a thank you to what Blackpink has done for me through music, through their creativity, through their colorful music videos, and a thank you to the performers. Thank you to the performers, the producers, and most importantly, the fans. The fans love you guys, and I wanted to do something bigger than I could ever imagine, because this is a glass table. I've never done anything this big. And when I first started, I just had an idea to do a hand, a record player, and just somewhere to have Blackpink records. Now, mind you not, this is glow-in-the-dark paint. That's glow-in-the-dark too. And the ideas just came. I wanted to add the lips. I added the lips, and I added the puzzle cutout. And these were my most recent additions, as I personally thought I was done and I ran out of ideas, and I started focusing on living situations. Again, this was supposed to be my last artwork regardless, but I was doing electrical work on the side and applying to jobs and looking for new housing, and it's not easy, and you never know what's gonna happen. I'm just blessed to even have this here in my home, and I guess I would share it with you now, because I don't even know, this can't even fit in my freaking car. So not knowing where to go, I don't know where my artwork is gonna go regardless. So at least it will be on video in my photographs, as the memory will be captured. And if I can't take this with me, I guess someone will keep a nice glass table, whatever they decide to do with it. But my idea for all my charitable giveaways, for my charitable art, since it's a thank you to the big influential and inspirational people within social media, in a way, it's a creation for the fans, where this idea came from the world being a broken record, where we just repeat our mistakes, and the world's falling apart, and it's black and white, and K-pop was the color in my life as my own world was falling apart. Luckily to be alive, luckily to have survived COVID, luckily to have the ideas to even create within the outside circumstances. But this is my depiction of what the world's been going through, and how K-pop, how me putting on K-pop and listening to Blackpink brought joy, color, peace, tranquility, and clarity for the most part. Within my life. At least to be able to create within art, and what I've been doing on Facebook, and voicing for others, voicing for the world, and just standing up trying to do the right thing. So with that being said, mind you not, it's been a while since I've gone live. But with that being said, I'm not even live. This is a pre-recording. But with that being said, I would love to get this signed by Blackpink and its artists, musicians, and have this to be donated to one of the fans through a charitable giveaway where they raise money towards awareness of their choice. And one lucky fan gets to win a freaking glass table themed with Blackpink records and all the color. And honestly, some of the takeaways and designs do tell a story about the member. And I'm sure the Blinks will know which drawing is not necessarily personal, but has a story behind for what member it's depicting. So we got a white heart bear, and obviously some of the things that I love and enjoy myself. We got ice cream. We have a ton of sour candy, rainbow sour candy. Of course, we got to have the pink microphone. This was a piece of cake. It was supposed to be a record player. I turned it into a piece of cake with a cherry on top, no icing. And you know what's funny? Some of the things that I drew, as I was more on YouTube, I got to see random videos of Blackpink and how they had photos of not exactly this color, but there was a photo with the group members, and there happened to be a Volkswagen, old school Volkswagen bus. And so that's just how everything came together. Same with this lipstick, one of their music videos. So just like some of the stories and my own personal touches, like wabi sabi. Jesus walked on water. I'm not religious. Jesus walked on water, and he had a third foot. So with that being said, the theme of black and white and color is how I personally depict life, because we do live life in black and white, and without music, without entertainment, without social media, without other people's life ventures and their creativity and what they do for the world, we wouldn't necessarily have a vision to try, or the motivation to try something new that we've never done in our life. And that's exactly how I view life. So the color is what other people do for the world and what they do for others. We are all creative. Sometimes we just need a little help from music, movies, mentors, you name it, because I find art within anything, from mowing your lawn to how you decorate your house, how you drink your water, what type of food you live, what type of lifestyle you have. So that's what an art form is to me. I view everything as an art, unless it's destructive. But then you could even have the dark side within art, where you show the destruction within the world. I personally didn't want to go that route as an artist, where I do love skulls, I do love gory, I do love the realism, the portraits, but I wanted to add my own style, something, since I've always been slightly animated Don't mind my monotone-ish voice, but I've lived my life like a movie. So I've always been animated. I've always been an animated person, and my hyper-realistic style, I happen to come across, especially more so this year. But that's just how I'm gonna tie in us living our life, and us viewing our life in black and white, and the color is the experience that brings us joy, that brings us new ventures and new opportunities to dive in, and it's what makes the world fucking go round. It's what makes the world go around, and that's just the story between this. As the world is falling apart, as my world was falling apart, the entertainment industry kept it all together, where my hand, let's say, I put on my favorite newly founded band, by the way, thanks to Rose. She put me onto K-pop, and just want to say thank you to YouTube, because I randomly found her on YouTube, and like I want to say, it's just a record that I put on through my iPhone, and that's the majority of the music I've been blasting this year. I love all styles of music, but once I find a new trend, I don't want to say I overplay it, but some people might consider it a broken record. It's not to me, because I still love K-pop. Even if I listen to it every fucking day, the same song over and over again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So with that being said, K-pop just happened to be the theme, and Blackpink was my last and biggest artwork within this household, and it happened to be the most colorful and the most, I guess I want to say, the biggest crunch time to create something so big, as my circumstances went further and further into the abyss, into the black hole. I was blessed to create something like this. And I'm sure if I take it with me, other ideas would come forward. I did want to have the audience pitch into some designs to add maybe in the future, since the world is so vast and full of creativity. But I feel like I filled this artboard, filled this canvas as much as I can. This is a chocolate K-pop. This is actually like one of my most favorite drawings. Honestly, everything on this drawing, including the sour candies where you could see the smiling faces. That is my logo. This glows in the dark, the green, by the way. So there is some glow-in-the-dark paint within this artwork. The rainbow does glow a little bit too. So if you have a black light, this whole thing will light up. And I do have an idea for how I want to hang this. But at the same time, I want to get a little more complex with it. So maybe somehow make this a rotating table, so it's a record that just keeps spinning. Like a record table. Like the world keeps spinning and spinning and spinning. And history doesn't have to repeat itself. It doesn't have to repeat itself. I guess you want to go into a little more depth. The black hole is doing the opposite of what continental drift did. It's bringing the countries together, where Blackpink, we already know Blackpink is the revolution, And the black hole and the black pink in your area is gonna help bring the world together. Help bring the world together. I'm sure not everyone loves K-pop, but it doesn't fucking matter. It's about the lyrics, it's about the energy, it's about the emotion behind the creation. And honestly, those who judge any form of creation, whether it's art, music, lifestyle, what fucking clothes or shoes you're wearing, like Uggs, yoga pants, it really doesn't fucking matter, because there's bigger things to worry about within this world. And maybe that's where we lost sight as technology and fashion and everything evolved and developed. I think that's where the broken record comes in, where people are focused on what other people are doing, what other people look like, and instead of focusing on our own lives, we just look at others, say something negative about it, and do nothing for the fucking world. So, like, being 2022, I believe that there shouldn't be hunger, there shouldn't be sex trafficking, there shouldn't be wars, there shouldn't be any of this fucking bullshit that we see, because the world is so technologically advanced where we can start building life in outer space. We can fly to outer space and back anytime you fucking want if you can afford it. So if we are able to do that, there shouldn't be any third world country where people don't have access to education, people don't have access to running water, people don't have access to electricity. And that's just how I view life. And I'm sure a majority of us are viewing life like that too. I just believe with all the resources within the world, we shouldn't have the same problems we had 100 years ago. We shouldn't have any doubt, any fear of the world coming to an end, whether it's through World War III or God knows what. But with that being said, we shouldn't have any fear and panic, and we shouldn't have any, how do I want to say? We shouldn't have individuals where they're starved from attention, where they're starved from opportunities, where they're starved from a livelihood. And that's for going forward for future generations. Because me being 31 years old, I'm happy with the life I lived. But my brother, my friends' children, and your future grandkids, it doesn't matter. They deserve a second, or they deserve the opportunities I've had, and especially those people who've made it successfully in wrongdoings, right doings. It doesn't matter. They deserve a future, because if you're 70 years old and you're gonna die anyways, you've made your fucking millions. You can't take that money fucking with you. But the future generation deserves more than a projected 12 years of Elon Musk's prophecies. And all of his prophecies have come true. Everything he's put his mind to, every vision he's had, has come true. But at least we still have time. At least we still have time to come together and start repairing the damage that humanity has caused over the centuries and centuries. So with that being said, every generation gets handed down the shit and the beauty of it. Like I said, this current generation has technology that can take the whole world to another universe. At the same time, they've inherited so much trauma and pain and brokenness from the past, where I'm not going to say lost hope, But with everything going on, we do need that inspiration. We do need to restart, and we do need to come together. It's not about making all that money, even though money plays a huge role, but it's about what we do with the money, and it's about showing the universe that we truly love fucking Earth. I'm not a tree hugger, but I do believe in energy. I do love nature. I do love animals. I do love helping individuals. So with that being said, the whole world needs a whole lot of color, inspiration, and motivation to find their true passions within life, and where they can go for it fearlessly with a full open heart, where they don't have the fear of their dreams and hopes being taken away or being broken, where something they did out of love, kindness, and something for the world, where it doesn't become a waste of time, where it's not a learning lesson, where it's not an algorithm, where it's not the fact that social media chooses the next star, where that has nothing to do with their success in life. And that's just how big and powerful social media has gone within the world, where all these algorithms and all these choosings, it's not always the best. It's not always the best for the world. And it's time we rewrite history. It's time we really rewrite history, because again, the future generations, even though they inherit all this pain, they still have access to technology where I didn't have as a kid, where I didn't even know what a freaking airbrush was when I was growing up. Where I was on dial-up, and just like all those aspects in life. They deserve to live as long. I want to say live as long as the next mummy. So, with that being said, I'm blessed for my 31 years. But at the same time, let's say we didn't come together and accomplish ending world hunger for others and future generations. Let's say we didn't achieve that goal. I don't want to stick around. I don't want to be alive where I have to see my younger brother die at the same time as I do, because we just let shit go to mess, and it's just been a broken record over and over again, where nothing ever got fixed. And now my brother, my sister, my friends' children have to pay the consequences, where I got to live, another 12 years, and they'll be my age. My brother will be 31 years old, and I'll be eating popcorn with him and watching the world fucking end. So that's not the life I envision. That's not the life I want. And personally, if that was going to happen, I wouldn't want to be alive to see that. Not because I'm a coward, but I think every parent, every grandparent doesn't want to see their grandkids and their kids die before them. That, especially with them. And all because of what? All because of what? We have all this technology, we have all this money in the world, and what? We can't come together, and we have to repeat history. We have to repeat something they grew up as a kid, and now it's coming back in worse form, because the world developed to the point where your average fool can wreak havoc to a society, a community, or even the world, if they are just given the access, the money, and again, a broken record. And it's time we all come together, because social media, even though the world is apart everyone's living thousands of miles away. We should all be able to come together and repair the damage we've caused, help out one another, be able to employ other individuals, hardworking individuals that will do anything for a career, And if you're an employer where you're looking for that individual that will do anything for you, that'll be grateful for you, where you don't have to worry about hiring the next lazy guy that just burns through your overtime and slacks off. So, I mean, again, we should all have that opportunity where even your next door neighbor or that next homeless guy that's just lost his way but has been working through it, you could still help him, bless him, and give him an opportunity of a lifetime. So it's time. You know, in the world I see for the future, social media, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, we won't have videos where we are laughing at the ones that are struggling, where instead we are helping those that are struggling. Because one, it takes a lot of courage to broadcast your struggles, but more so importantly, where we don't have those individuals that go viral because of others people's struggles, or because of others, and where they don't get the credit for it. So that's just what Blackpink did for me. Artistically, of course, I've met other people, Neurojim, John Asseroff, my mentor, that I was able to meet through Instagram. Everything happens for a reason. That was one of the biggest blessings, especially with Inner Size. It allowed me to put so much together while not being afraid, while not letting fear drive my life, and not being able to create anything within this last year and a half. So again, just a big thank you. And those are the Neurogym colors. Few other people in the gummy bears. So with that being said, life is color. How you design your life, how you live your lifestyle. Social media should provide you that opportunity where you're always absorbing that right content that drives you to your next destination, where you're looking forward to come back on, but you're not stuck to the point where you don't know how to live your own life, or where you don't have the inspiration to go out and do anything for the world, more so for yourself and your family, where you don't have to worry about the future generation being mindless zombies. So they say, where they can't think for themselves. So again, we know how dangerous social media can be, but at the same time, it's a powerful tool and asset for business and for mentors and for voicing your rights, voicing for and standing up for what's wrong within the world. So to be able to do the right thing and to be able to grow and build a community of support and helping individuals where you can work together and tackle world problems and give the future generation a fighting chance and show them that they don't have to take out the trash. So, like, I don't have kids, but you know how they say it. If you want your children to take out the trash for you and they never see you take out the trash a single day in your life, what makes you think they will do it when they grow up? So we are the role models for the future, and the world needs to see more light and love. and more care from the adults and less of less of the blaming, or Gen Y, Gen Z, Gen X, the old timers, the hippies, the corrupt, the gangsters. You know what? Put that to the past, because we could play the blame game and never come up with a solution for the problem that we face today. So with that being said, it's easy to blame and point fingers. It's easy to say the rich keep getting rich, the poor keep getting poor. But at the same time, from a poor standpoint, if you are poor and you're not willing to fight for yourself, for the world, and for what you believe in, who's going to want to help you, right? And same for the rich, because we already know there's plenty of rich individuals that are donating and helping the world. But it takes all of us to come together. If the poor aren't going to stand up for themselves, how are the rich supposed to help the poor? You know, with that being said, I'm going to use a perfect example. Those who win the lottery, majority of them blow it all away and they go broke and their life gets ruined. And that's because they didn't know what to do with the money. So if you are poor and expecting a handout while not working for that handout, what makes you think you're going to know what to do with the money? What makes you think you're going to know what to do with the back support when it comes? What makes you think you will see the opportunity come your way if you're not working towards finding your dreams, your passions, or wanting to give back to the world in some way? So, and that goes same for the rich. They need to have an opportunity to help individuals who are struggling due to circumstances. But those individuals who happen to be poor are not poor because they're stupid. They're not poor because they love wasting money or they don't know what to do with money. But they just so happen to be poor because of their circumstances. But at the end of the day, they never give up. They never give up on themselves, their family, what they stand for, and they truly add value to the world. So that's the opportunity where everyone needs to come together so we can repair the damage and give future generations. Because the way I see it is, for another 12 years, for third world countries that don't have to be third world anymore, especially with the technology and the money that's hidden within those third world countries, come on. Do you think we really would last another 12 years, especially after the pandemic, especially what's going on in the world now with the gas prices? And who knows, the next pandemic just might roll by. So it doesn't take much right now for everyone to lose hope. So thank God we don't have a world war, because then everyone would lose hope. And again, I can't see us lasting more than Elon Musk projected prophecy, especially with the money in the world, especially with the technology we have. I don't stand to see people starving and looking for their next meal, and all because of what? Lack of resources. That's an excuse. So again, look out for your country, look out for your community, look out for everyone. Look out for the next homeless guy who's not just sitting on the street sleeping his life away. Look out for the next talent. Look out for the next voice that stands up for the right thing, regardless of his living circumstances, his financial status, his social media fame thereof, or lack of it. Just stand up for those individuals. Most importantly, stand up for yourself and stand up for the future generations. If you don't have children and you're in love, or you want to be in love, or if you never want to have children, stand up for the animals, stand up for the orphans, Serena might be a dog, but to me, she's a living soul. And she's also been a huge inspiration in my life, where I wanted to provide her a foundation of where, for once, I was doing what I loved every day, regardless of the circumstances, regardless. And truly, during the worst times in my life, I've been the most calm, the most happiest, and call it crazy, the most inspired to do something that might never work out. So with that being said, that just shows you, when you're doing what makes you happy, the creativity comes. You just have to follow that idea. Follow the idea. The rest of the story will get drawn out, written, told, acted out, created. Whatever you do in life, whatever drives your passions, whatever drives you to be more charitable, follow that path. Be fearless. Be confident. Be the role model. Be the fucking superhero that you've needed. We all have an inner villain. We all have a superhero inside of us. And it's all by choice. It's all by choice. And it starts with looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am tired of being the person that doesn't even make me happy, make my life happy, and make others happy around us. And forget the people that will put you down regardless. Because those people, the more you ignore them, eventually they will change. And don't blame them for the world's problems. Don't go around spreading hysteria, saying the world's a bunch of sleepless zombies, the sheep. Don't be that type of individual. If you're going to spread awareness, spread it with integrity, spread it with facts, spread it with knowledge. And honestly, that quote, be the change you want to see, is truly how we do everything in life. And even if you're working a job, even if you're struggling, even if you're working that job you don't like, there's a reason you got it. There's a reason you were inspired. Might have been just money, but use that money as a tool to go home and work on yourself. You don't have to be your own entrepreneur. You don't have to be the next Elon Musk or the Jeff Bezos. But you do have to find what makes you happy. And you will be happy with the money you make regardless. Regardless, you'll be happy with the money you make because you're doing what you love every fucking day. And the reason the world wants more money, where we fight for it, is because if you're not happy with your lifestyle, you think saving up X amount of money, being a millionaire, if you don't know what makes you happy, that money will get blown like that because you're going to buy stuff to fill that void. And believe it or not, you already have access to a good amount of money, especially in America, where your average job is $15 an hour. You could save that up. You could literally save that up by not spending and buying shit you don't need. So we all want to be a millionaire, but what are we willing to do for the world to become that millionaire? How are we going to share those millions? How are we going to teach the future generations this is what you do with a lot of money. This is how you help others. This is how you truly make money, not for yourself. Really not for yourself. Because if it was just you, do you really need a mansion? Are you really gonna be happy with a Ferrari where you had no friends, no family, where you're just living by yourself in a mansion, having no one to fucking talk to, no one to have a joyride with, no one to eat dinner with, no happy birthdays, none of that? If you really think about it, would you be willing to sacrifice everything for $1 million, where if you're the individual that doesn't want to share it, the only way you could make that million is if you go to a remote island. You could still buy yourself what you need, but you would be the next Tom Hanks, and Wilson is your only friend, but you can still have your Ferrari and your Lambo. Would you truly be happy having no form of communication with anyone? Absolutely. I want to say absolutely fucking not. Absolutely not. You know? If someone gave you $1 million today, would you throw your phone away? Buy yourself what you want to buy. But at the same time, you can't share your time. You can't talk to anyone, and you can't share your joys. Because that's the funny thing. The irony is, people buy the things that want to make them happy so they could share with others. I don't care who you are. When those who want to buy a Ferrari, they want to drive the Ferrari with their friend. Those who want a mansion or a helicopter or a jet and all those things, they want to share it with someone. They really do. They really do. So, and if you really think about it, the rich stay rich because they're doing a lot for the world. They didn't just come up with a business that's not doing shit. Literally. Elon Musk, helping the world through efficient energy, getting rid of pollution. Jeff Bezos, Amazon, fucking the best. How do I say it? For me, Amazon provided me with all the necessary tools for all my ventures, my art, even my dog food at one point. To the point where you don't even have to go to a supermarket to buy expensive toilet paper, paper towels, yada, 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 where you could buy everything. So, with that being said, I'm not going to even be able to post this live video, but at least I made the recording because it's 43 minutes long. But every successful entrepreneur created something for the world that is a valuable asset that progresses and moves the world forward. It's just a broken record, and history tends to repeat itself, not because of them, maybe because of a few bad apples, but that's not going to fly around anymore, especially if those bad apples want to have more apples to enjoy for generation to generation. So even the bad apples don't want their grandkids to become bad apples because they don't want to watch their grandkids and bad apples live through the pain and consequences of their actions. So with that being said, we all need to come together. I don't care if you're Shrek or the baddest gangster in the fucking world that doesn't give two shits about anything other than money and corruption. I don't care if you're that person, because even that person wants to have their grandkids grow up, where they want their children to have grandkids, where they want to have grandkids. So even that baddest gangster wouldn't trade millions of dollars so he could live on an island like Castaway and talk to a fucking volleyball for the rest of his fucking life by himself. So that's just where we are at in this life, where we all need to come together. Rich, poor, corrupt, it doesn't fucking matter. Gay, white, black, Chinese, Indian, it really doesn't matter. Where if you're a Christian, where you're Jewish, where you're Muslim, it doesn't fucking matter. We need to stop fucking judging one by our origin, by our authenticity, by our skin color, by our race, by the religion we believe in, by the music we listen to, by what type of sex we like to like. That's something that should be kept private. If you like men, if you like women, if you like the same sex, sure. That shouldn't fucking matter. But keep the sex and what you do with one another behind closed doors, unless you want to broadcast that for the world. That's up to you. But if you're going to broadcast for what you do for the world, something that's private and intimate and that doesn't require everyone to know what type of sex position you like, be expected to be humiliated a little bit, because humiliation does drive the world, and there's a lot of humiliation within successful people, whether they get made fun of, whether they happen to be gay, lesbian, straight, it doesn't matter. Whether they are a certain religion, where they are a certain color, it really doesn't matter. But certain things that you know in your life that should be kept private, don't broadcast it for the world. But if you do, enjoy the humiliation. Enjoy the humiliation, because the most humiliation, I want to say humiliation is also the key to success. I don't know one successful person that wasn't made fun of for standing up for what he believes in and for what he loves. I don't know one successful person that wasn't fucking called crazy, stupid, out of his mind. What is he doing? What is he talking about? If you find that one successful person that has no life story, that has never been humiliated in his life, whether in his childhood, his adulthood, or even to this point where even on today's social media, where they have all this success and money, where people still call them crazy because they have all these prophecies and all these visions, where they do so much for the world. So, with that being said, stop judging one another. If you think your life is bad, look at the people that can't take a shower. Look at the generations that don't have access to education, technology, where they don't even have a cell phone to hop on social media and find their next motivation, their next hope, and their next community that's going to help them become the next destiny for them. So think of it that way. At least majority of us have access and opportunity. And that access and opportunity, you always have 24-hour access, but that opportunity only comes when you clear your mind, stop judging, shaming, blaming, guilting. And once you do that, that opportunity opens up. And once that opportunity opens up, don't think about the money. Just keep following the path to the idea, because the ideas come from somewhere. We all have an idea. We all have a vision. We all have a destiny. We all have a prophecy in life. And if you stick to it, it's just going to all work out. It's all going to work out. Don't look at the next. If you want to be the next Bill Gates, the next Jeff Bezos, the next Elon Musk, do it for yourself, and more so, do it. How do I say this? Become that person by following your heart, not by imitating the person and trying to replace them, if you know what I mean. Clearly, there's not going to be another Tesla. But if you do want to go into the electric car industry, what are you going to provide? So that's the point I'm trying to get at. If you want to be the next social media platform visionaire, what are you going to provide for the world? And by provide for the world, what foundation are you bringing to the table? Because life is energy. We already know this. Life is energy. And whatever business, whatever venture, everything you do, your energy speaks for itself before you are known, before you enter a room. That energy and those vibes get read subconsciously. So with that being said, are you the superhero in your life? That's going to bring the right foundation to any creation you are attempting to become. Is your foundation, is your mindset, your self-image, your beliefs? Because we all can educate ourselves to as much as we can, but is your foundation solid? Are you the individual that if you die today or if you wake up every morning, are you happy to be around yourself regardless of your circumstances? So again, with that being said, and think about it this way, every successful person was broke as shit. I don't know one person that didn't have a rough path. I don't know one person that became a billionaire without being fucking poor. So, if you don't know the value of $1 and you don't know how to be resourceful when you have nothing, what makes you think it'll be any different when you have it all? So, with that being said, focus on what makes you happy. The money will come. Don't think about the product of you being a millionaire. Think about the fact that you're doing what you love every day. And the more you do for the world, the more money you'll have. And the more open-minded you are as an individual, the more opportunities you have access to within this world, where you're not limited to one group or one person or one customer, where you have unlimited access to the billions of people within the world. And what you do for those individuals is what will come back to you financially. Yes, financially, because time is money and our energy is the biggest form of currency. This is honestly, it came out to be cool. I love this. And I love that too. So, rant is over, because it's not a rant. This is what majority of the world's going through. And it's okay to have these thoughts, but at the same time, work on yourself. Spend more time with those you love. Ask for help from individuals within your circle. Any help you receive, be grateful for it. More will come down the road. You know, rebuild the relationships or not necessarily rebuild, just leave it off to a good point. Leave everything to a good point, and focus on your passions. And like they say, let your creations speak for you. Let your work tell the story for the world. Let your struggles, let your pains, let your losses be an inspiration for others, because so many people have lost so much, especially within the last few years. And the fact that you're alive, the fact that you haven't lost family due to COVID, that's just a blessing to have. You have kids, you have a roof over your head, you have a job, you have a paycheck. That's better than nothing. And that's better than nothing. So I guess in simple words, leave a legacy that you would be proud of. Leave a legacy that does not destroy the world. Leave a legacy that is self-sustaining. Leave a legacy that your grandkids, great-grandkids will be proud of you. Leave a legacy that if someone ever looked you up on Google or social media, they would be inspired by what you have done. You don't need the whole world to be inspired, but you never know, that one person that you inspire might just change the fucking world. And I think that one person that can just change the world that's the most beautiful thing. Where you want to have all these followers, but you only need one person to be inspired that can bring everyone together, because they have so much light, they have so much love, they have so much passion, where they are driven by the emotions of others, where they understand, where they don't judge, where they're compassionate. That one individual is worth billions of followers, billions of dollars, because let's say if you didn't become that millionaire, at least in history, you inspired that one person that gave a future to the rest of the world, that gave a future to your grandkids, that gave a future to your children. And shit, you never know. You know how life works. If you do believe in reincarnation, you definitely don't want to reincarnate in this time. So be grateful for the legacy you leave, because you might just reincarnate in a better time, in a better fucking time. And that's what we all hope for. And think of it this way: your grandkids, your children, you want them to be born in a better time, and not the times we are going through now. At least what I'm blessed for, I didn't have to go to school and hide under a desk because we were afraid of the next bombing, because the country, the world was at a world war. So at least I didn't grow up in World War II, World War III. I did see 9/11 happen. I didn't go to school that day. I lived in Queens at the time, and I did see 9/11 and the towers burning from Queens Boulevard. You could see it directly. I was blessed to not have family living in Manhattan. In New York City. In Manhattan. So, but I did get to see where in my lifetime that gave, at least in America, it destroyed a lot of hope for the future. So that's what I got to witness. And then as time progressed, some things got worse, but it's not permanent. It's not permanent. If you think the world's ending, if you think we can't fix the pollution, if we can't fix all these things, we can. We can. If the human body can heal, what makes you think the world cannot regenerate and heal itself if we give it the opportunity, if we allow it to? So the universe and the world is just as, if not, it's more capable of repairing itself if we give it the opportunity. Same with humanity. If we can heal ourselves, whether through technology, modern medicine, or epigenetics, if we can do that for ourselves, what makes you think technology and the opportunity and the help from the collective of the world, what makes you think the universe cannot start repairing itself? So always look on the bright side, which is not easy. And always, sometimes dig deep in your box. They always say, think outside the box. But for sometimes in our life, we got to think inside the box, especially for humanity. If we were all to be happy, so we do not destroy the world again because we're so miserable and unhappy what we do within our life, look inside your box that you stored away many years ago for whatever reason you did, where you stored your childhood dreams and just threw them in the attic, or you gave them away to someone. Find that box and remind yourself how it feels to be a kid again, how it feels to be fearless, how it feels to not be stuck, how it feels to not have worry. And now think of the current generation and future generations, and create that opportunity for yourself and for them, so they don't have to grow up wondering if their school is going to be bombarded by the next chaos we choose to neglect. Not that the next chaos that someone throws a shit and starts something. No, it's the chaos that we choose to neglect. Because if you take care of things, they last. They fucking last. If you show the world you truly love it and you want to live here longer than the dinosaurs, trust me, it'll fucking last. The greatest ideas come from nothing. The greatest ideas come through struggle. And they always come to those individuals who are not walking in circles, pointing fingers, wondering why is there a rainbow here? Why is there lipstick? Why is there so much fucking pink in this drawing? What the fuck does this drawing even mean? So don't be that type of individual. Because remember, you don't have to have a paintbrush. You don't have to be able to sing. You don't have to be an actor. You don't have to be any of those things in life. Because in reality, your life, you are the movie star. You just have to find the character that you will be happy to play for the rest of your life, where it comes naturally, where you don't have to force it, where you've lived it for so long, you just almost forgot your lines and roles and got a little lost along the way, which is okay, because life's a journey And without a story to tell, what would be the point of living? As long as you learn the lessons and don't repeat them, everything's just gonna be okay. And otherwise, we're all just gonna go into a black hole. We'll keep it simple as that. And we all have that one record that we would love to replay, regardless if it's broken or not. You'd never get sick and tired of it. Where in this artwork, I could have just been drawing burnt down trees, trash everywhere, hate crime, human trafficking. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to depict something that depict as a thank you and bring color into my life, which has been in black and white, until I started seeing in color, until I started realizing the value of life. And it's not always about the money. And we always have that inspiration, that individual, that community that brings out the best out of us. So that's what Blackpink did to me, for me, within art. And they're just a band that doesn't even know who I am as an individual. But one day they will. One day they will. And I hope this artwork goes to one lucky fan with their signatures on the record, where the black hole is the record. And life can be a piece of cake. You just gotta look up the recipe to what cake you're trying to bake. And if you don't know what you're making, the recipe and ingredients will come along the way. And we already know life's just trial and error. Is just having the heart and passion within what you're doing. Because if you're truly passionate, it truly makes you happy, regardless of the struggle, regardless of the effort, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of how fast it's progressing. None of that will matter. None of that will matter. Because in the end of the day, it makes you happy. And what makes you happy eventually gets noticed. And if you want to do that as a career, it will become a career. You just can't give up. You can't give up. And I'm going to say this. With the power of social media, we should all have that opportunity. Because that is literally a world access pass to billions of individuals. Where you shouldn't have one niche or an algorithm decide of your success, of what you do for the world. If you don't want to end world hunger, you should be able to have the ability to bring the world together, regardless of your fame or your financial status or whatever is happening within your world. So your energy should be able to, your energy, your values, your talents should be able to bring the world together, or a community, or other individuals, however small or large, or how far you want to take it. You should have the opportunity, regardless if you're social media famous or if you just created an account and you wanted to reach out to the world and work together. You should be able to, because your time and energy will be the currency for the outcome of the financial gain you make, and what your creations do for the world will be the deciding factor of your success in life. So I'm just gonna end it there. Have a wonderful week. It will definitely take too long for me to post on YouTube. One day I will. So thank you, YouTube. This video was for YouTube. I did want to go live, but think in a way I did. And I got to say more than I ever thought of. So, and at least within this time, I do want to say this is complete within this time. And Facebook didn't get to see it, but that's okay. Someone did. Someone got to see this. And again, this is like the coolest. I love that puzzle. All right. Have a wonderful week. Light and love, I.S.k-i.